What's going on, everybody? Adam Coos here to do a little bit of maintenance on your mind and to say Happy New Year's Eve, Happy New Year's, and I hope that everyone brings in this New Year's safely and in a great way, definitely, because it is something to be celebrating, a whole nother year that you're alive and whatnot. But the real purpose of this video is because, I personally think that that whole New Year, new me is like crap. Like for me, uh, what I'm adopting now from now until the rest of my life is basically instead of having New Year's resolution, let it be a New Year's reflection and think about, how how many lessons and the big lessons that I've learned out of this year and move forward with those lessons in the next year. Because I feel like uh, when people say history repeats itself, it's a half truth, and I feel like one of the things I've learned is that there's a lot of half truths, and like it's really not about history repeating itself for the sake of repeating itself. No, it's because people don't learn the lessons. And because they don't learn the right lessons, they have to keep doing things over and over again. It's just like if you're in second grade and you just don't pass your class, you have to do it over till you learn the right way, what you're supposed to be doing. So with that being said, I feel like the easiest way to push myself forward and make 2016 and the year after that better than 2015 and the year that we're in is just make sure that I move ahead with these lessons. So I just want to kind of like challenge people to really think about what it is that 2015 has gifted them in terms of with the lessons and experience so that they can make sure and they can move forward and build on top of 2016. So with that being said, there's only really four, wow, sorry about that. Anyway, so there's only like four lessons, right? That really, really big lessons from 2015 from this year that I got. So I just want to like run over them like briefly, just give you that idea and just share, my experiences. And we'll probably end up doing like a little mini series to go greater into depth about what I'm actually talking about. But that'll be something to look forward to in the beginning of next year. Um, but yeah, so of these things is basically uh, to really like so stop procrastinating, right? Stop procrastinating and be proactive. Don't be timid, be bold. Really learning self worth and self value and learning something that I call 360 thinking, right? So, one, right? Stop procrastinating, be proactive, right? There's so many times where I've been in this situation, and I feel like there's a lot of people that have been in a situation where it's just like, wow, like, dang, like, oh, wow, I could have did this, but I took too long to do it. Or, someone wanted you to do something, or you could have got something done, but it just didn't because you took forever. And because you took forever, you lost out. I know that society is filled with procrastinators. We grow up procrastinating. People love to procrastinate. But honestly, it does not serve you. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't serve you to procrastinate. It doesn't serve me to procrastinate. And that's why I learned, throughout the course of this year, really don't procrastinate, but also be proactive. If there's something that you can hop on now, take advantage of, so many opportunities you lose because you simply aren't taking action on them. So definitely do that. Take action on the opportunities that are around you. Take action because you never know what will do what for you, where it'll take you, where you can go. But you can never really be that way and have amazing experiences if you're procrastinating all the time. Just with, being bold, it's the same thing. You have to put yourself in a situation to get what you want. You can't always be playing it safe because you got to think about it like how many stories you can't tell right now, how many experiences you can't, marvel in, how many things you can't really say that you have or you've been through because you just weren't bold enough. Like, I can think about how many stories I could have had if I would have been like, yeah, what if I went over there and like, decided to make that? What if I went over there and decided to talk to that girl? What if I went over there and I decided to, like help do X, Y, and Z? because I feel like you're never really going to get the life you feel like you really want or you deserve or the things you want if you're not bold and go after these things. Just being timid and being safe is never truly going to take you where you want to go. It's just, yeah, just be bold. And if you think you're bold, be bold or more than you are now, because everyone can always take it up a next level. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing, self-worth. Like, sorry, this is like really heavy. I guess the easiest way to explain what I got out of it for this year and how I really is hammered down to me, and not just something like, oh yeah, like, yeah, everyone should have self-worth and love themselves, but it's different where you go through experiences and then it all sinks in, because throughout the course of this year it's just been like different situations where it's just like, this is cool, this is great, I appreciate what's going on, but this is not me. And that's where self-worth comes in, knowing that what you're doing is you, or what you're doing is helping you to create the life you want, or what you're doing is helping you become a better person, become the person that you actually know you want to be. That's self-worth, knowing that this represents you as a core, as an entity, as like a being, and going after that, going after those positive people in your life, building a relationship with those positive things in your life, to really be that person that you know you are, the person that you deserve to be, to have the things you deserve, the things you know you deserve. That's self-worth. Self-worth isn't just, being happy-go-lucky or like, oh, well, like, nah, there's a lot of like depth in self-worth. And that's something I really learned, like not settling, not being timid, being timid is not having a lot of self-worth, procrastinating is not having self-worth, not really thinking is not having self-worth. And that's exactly where I got this whole idea and concept of 360 thinking from. And what is 360 thinking? Is honestly, I feel like is a very sound and reasonable way of thinking, because we as humans, we have logic and we have our emotions, we have reasoning and we have our imagination. And the only true way to really have a grasp of what your reality is and what it could be is to use them both. So out of 360 thing is basically 4 scenarios that I think about in any serious situation, where it's one, the best possible thing that can happen out of everything, the worst possible thing, and then what do you think is probably going to happen. Now, most people would stop at those 3 scenarios alone, because more than likely what you think is probably going to happen will happen. And the best case scenario is like wishful thinking, and the worst case scenario is like, But what really makes it sound is like that 4th or maybe 5th scenario of just complete randomness. And when I say that, I mean just like thinking about the most randomest thing that could ever happen. And just what if, true what ifs like that. Because most likely when a monkey wrench comes and hits you, you would never have seen it coming. And that's the thing, you got to really push yourself to think outside the box and prepare for these things. Because if you can prepare for the best case scenario, it won't throw you off. If you can prepare for the worst case scenario, it won't throw you off. And if you know what's probably going to happen and you prepare for it, then that's great. And if you can just somehow think of just these random little things, that's even better. That's even better to put you in a more position of confidence and of certainty. So you're going to want to be bold. You're going to want to do certain things. But again, this is just some of the lessons the really main core lessons that I learned out of this year. I don't want to make this video too long. I'll probably do like other like shorter little videos or independent videos to kind of like break down like what I really got from these lessons and how these actually affected me, and like other videos, and just share with you guys. If you got value for it, I'm glad that I can do that for you. And if you watch this whole thing, shouts out to you, and for everyone that has been continuing to, watching my growth and supporting and all that good stuff. And yeah, everybody turn up, have fun. I'll catch you guys in the next video.